it further. So if we take the transverse section of an young anther, how it appears. Okay. So in the young anther, we can see different layers. That is, outer layer is epidermis. The second layer is endothecium. And this circular structure, what we call it as? We call it as pollen sac. Okay. In the last class we have studied this. Okay. Major layers. The outer layer is epidermis. The second layer is endothecium, and the circular structure what we see, it is nothing but the pollen sac. In the pollen sac, when the anther is young, we see some parenchyma cells. Okay. These parenchyma cells we call them as sporogenous cells. So these cells we call them as sporogenous cells. When the anther is young, these are the four important points that you have to remember. It is surrounded by the outer layer epidermis, and the next layer to the epidermis is endothecium, and a circular structure we have pollen sac, and inside that we have many spherical or parenchyma cells called as sporogenous cells. Okay. So sporogenous cells will be diploid structures. These are diploid cells which further will become the pollen grains. Okay. If I enlarge this pollen sac, so this is how you will see this one. You can see the structure like this. A enlarged pollen sac structure I have written. Okay. So the outer layer what you will see here is epidermis. The next layer to the epidermis is endothecium. Next we have three layers. We call them as middle layers, and the pollen sac has innermost layer what we call it as, it is epidermis. So inside the epidermis we will see compactly arranged cells. So these cells we call them as pollen mother cells. Okay. The structures. That is, the outer layer is epidermis. The inner layer to the epidermis is endothecium. Remember, epidermis is a single layer structure. Endothecium is a single layer structure. So we have three layers of middle layers. Next to the endothecium we have three layers called as middle layers. And innermost layer is tapetum. Inside the tapetum we will see pollen mother cells. So you may get confused. Sir, here it is written sporogenous cells, and why he has written pollen mother cells? Later we will come to that one. Okay. So first let us see what is the functions of these. So epidermis, outermost layer. So its main function is protection. Always we call epidermis in plants as the skin of the plants. Its function is protection. Next we have endothecium. It does the main function that endothecium is single layer, and its main function is dehiscence of the anther. So after maturity, the anther breaks and release the pollen grains out, and the main layer which does that function. So what is that? Dehiscence. Dehiscence of anther. So the main function you have to remember for endothecium is dehiscence of anther. Means that after maturity, when the pollen grains are produced inside the anther, the endothecium cell helps to break open the anther and release the pollen grain out. So this we call it as dehiscence of anther, and the main function of endothecium is dehiscence of anther. Okay. Next we have middle layers. So what does it do? So what is the function of this one? It is protection. So it protects all the layers inside. Middle layers. So middle layers are three layer structures next to the endothecium. We have three layers called as middle layers. Then what layers? So middle layers main function ಏನಿದೆ? So it helps in storage of the nutrients. ಯಾವ nutrients ಬೇಕು? So that pollen grains ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ it requires some of the food. Any cells require food for or nutrients to grow. Hence middle layers main function ಏನಿದೆ? So it helps in storage of nutrients. Next ಬರೋದು ಯಾವುದು? So the main issue what we call it as tapetum. So tapetum we call it as nourishing tissue. So the main function of tapetum is it is nourishing tissue. It nourishes the developing pollen grains. Okay. So this is the function of four layers, that is epidermis function ಏನು protection. Next ಬರೋದು endothelium, other function ಏನು dehiscence of anther. Next middle layers, its function is storage of nutrients. Next main nourishing tissue for the developing pollen grain we call it as tapetum. So tapetum main function is nourishing tissue. Inside the tapetum and the anther is young, we will see the pollen mother cells. So what they do, let us see that. Okay. So tapetum ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. So what tapetum does? One, it nourishes the developing pollen grains. And remember, all these layers are having diploid cells. Epidermis is a diploid cell. Endothelium is a diploid cell. Middle layers are diploid cells or a parenchyma type of cells only. Tapetum is also a diploid cell, but as the anther matures, it will undergo endomitosis. Under the product karyokinesis ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. So it carries out karyokinesis and hence tapetum later becomes a multinucleate structure. So tapetum diploid cell which undergo endomitosis ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬರೀ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಗ್ತಾ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, it becomes a multinucleate cell. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ multinucleate cell, we also call it as cenocytic cells ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. So multinucleate cells can be also called as cenocytic cells. So tapetum, two important things you have to remember, that it is a nourishing tissue, it nourishes the developing pollen grains, and another one is being a diploid cell, it will undergo endomitosis to form and become multinucleate structure, or it is also called as cenocytic cell. Now let us come to this one. So first I had told you so you can find the sporogenous cells. Okay, one cell I will take. So sporogenous cells, when the anther is inside the tapetum, they are compactly arranged. So I am starting ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು, ಸ್ಪೋರೋಜಿನಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. when the anther is young, ಆ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಜಿನಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತವೆ, pollen mother cells ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಜಿನಸ್ ಸೆಲ್, ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಬಹಳ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಜಿನಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ these ಸ್ಪೋರೋಜಿನಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಈ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಜಿನಸ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಆಂಥರ್ ಮೆಚೂರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಜಿನಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್. So sporogenous cells are nothing but some of the parenchyma cells. They will differentiate and ಏನಾಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದು, they will become pollen mother cell ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So pollen mother cell is also nothing but diploid. So sporogenous cells ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಏನಾಗ್ತವೆ, differentiate ಆಗಿ they will become what, pollen mother cell. Okay, ಈಗ important ಏನು, so pollen mother cell, I will write it like this, pollen mother cell now will undergo meiosis. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಟ್ಟ ಆಗಿದೇನು, ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತವೆ, ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸೇ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಜಿನಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ವಾಟ್, pollen mother cells. Now pollen mother cells will undergo meiosis. So meiosis ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ. So ಸೊ ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಸಬ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ 1 ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ 2 ಎರಡೂ ಸೇರಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಸೊ ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ 1 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಫ್ ಐ ರೈಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಪೋಲನ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪೋಲನ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಎರಡು ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದು 2n ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ n and n. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಡಯಾಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಎರಡು ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಯಾಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ 1 ಪೋಲನ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಡಯಾಡ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ ಇದೆ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದ್ಯಾವುದು ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ 2. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it will undergo division to form 4 cells. 4 cells ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಟೆಟ್ರಾಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ one polar mother cell will undergo meiosis to produce how many cells? 4 haploid cells ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಈ 4 haploid cells ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಟೆಟ್ರಾಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಏನಿದು ಪೋಲನ್. ಸೊ 1 ಈಸ್ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 ಪೋಲನ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತವೆ? 4 ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತವೆ. ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೋರೋಜೆನಿಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು? ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಪೋಲನ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಇಂದ 4 ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತವೆ.